Sometimes it seems the simplest solution is actually the best solution. What I've actually got here is a hard piece of steel pipe. This is actually an empty cylinder, but the valve is removed. Wouldn't use a spray can because there is no way that spray can take the kind of pressure. But what I'm actually doing is bringing the pipe around and then using the entire length of this hand to actually pull it around bit by bit. And as you can see, that's actually quite successful. So only moving it, what, a centimetre at a time, maybe a little bit more, and you can see it is slowly coming around. I'm not actually going as tight as the cylinder because I want to be able to remove it. You need to be careful as you roll that you don't go over the top because it inclines to want to kind of push this way on the coil. So every now and again we'll just straighten that up and then continue doing it the old-fashioned way, I guess. And I don't want to speak too soon because there's always time for problems, but there's no kinks or anything in this pipe. And I'm going to go until it will fit no more. Look at that, that's quite nice. So, I know the pipe bending kit that I had might not have actually been the right type of pipe bending kit, but I thought the spring should work, and I got the spring royally stuck and had to straighten the pipe out to even get it to move. I tried twisting it, it just kind of expanded. I tried going the other way, it just forced its way further in. So again, I might have used that wrong. I actually sent the other half out to get a big bag, a 2 kilogram bag of salt, because I did see a video where they crimped the end flat, filled it with salt, but I have not put any salt in here. It's on its own. You see, I just kind of rock this one that way, get my hand on it, hold it down and pull it back. Rock it, hold it, pull it back. You can see on the back end there how much it's moving around. Again, that's my workout for the evening done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's keep going. Hello. I don't need the salt, I'm afraid. But thank you, I'll enjoy that on my chips.
You don't eat chips?
Well, I'm going to have to now with salt on, aren't I? Is it 2 kilograms, is it?
No, it's 1.5.
1.5. Might not have been enough if I needed it. But
yeah,
now I don't need it.
I thought it was a lot of salt anyways.
Well, you know.
What did you use it for?
Bit of a workout. But compared to the stress I went through with the other things, this is easy peasy. Right, I'm going to stop there, and then I'm going to have to try and get that off there. No problem. Well, I say no problem. There's a slight problem. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. That will be lovely. Right, we've had some highs, we've had some lows. That was some hard work. So just to recap on that, first of all, I tried to roll the coil using this, which got in a tangle. Couldn't get that over there, and it did kink it several times. Did kind of start in with, you had loads of patience and loads of time, you might possibly be able to do quite a nice coil with that, maybe. The next thing we did was use Mr. Bendy, or the corkscrew, which I presume is for pipe bending. That corkscrewed in there, went around there, and then I rolled it up, and the problem I had was this was completely stuck, and if I tried to roll it one way it would go in deeper, and if I tried to roll it the other way it just kind of expanded out. It was completely deep, so maybe that was just far too much bend for this. Maybe it's just for much smaller pieces bend, but why is it so long? You know, whoa, whoa. It is really long. I'm going to pop that one away. So I don't really know the point of that one. Don't want that uncoiling because it seems mad. There we go. So the final solution that I came up with, I was going to try another method that I've seen on a couple of videos, which is fill it with some sort of powder like sand and then roll it up, then empty the sand out or the salt out, which looked quite difficult to do. But my final method was I literally got a cylindrical piece of metal, in my case an old cylinder, and I actually wound this around. So just kind of held something like that in the vise, put that on there, and as you've seen from that, used the palm of my hand to pull it round. Actually no, I used the other hand to pull it into the palm, didn't I, like that? Yeah. Okay, and that's actually given me a really nice coil, quite like that. I've straightened the ends off here, and that should be perfect. Okay, the stove has been brought in from the garden. It has been raining quite a bit recently and it's suffered some rust issues, but never mind. Metal goes rusty, and if I keep this design I'll clean it up and treat it somehow. So there's the copper coil. I'm hoping that, yeah, that will just sit in there. Eventually these tubes might come out the back through a hole, but just for testing I'm going to run it this way. Put the silicone rubber hoses back on here and pump water through. I think top down, bottom down, I don't know, does it matter? It's going to be, we'll go from the top down, so when the pump goes off it will flow out nicely. Okay, so what else have we got here? Well, there's a spider, money spider down there. I would let this money spider go in the house, but I think it's actually one of those baby false widows that we get quite a few around here, and I don't really want it in the house. Okay, spider was set free. So, where are we at? Yeah, this plate on the top. Now the fire's got to go on the inside. So to make the fire on the inside I'm going to have to somehow pull it this way and light it from down there or something. It's slightly changed the design. I'm actually thinking now that maybe I will make this inside a metal cylinder and actually somehow incorporate that into the wall, and then somehow make the fire down. I don't know, pull a handle on this piece so you can like lift it off and fill it up with some more fuel from the top. But we'll give that a little fire up and see how that goes. Okay, we've got stove set up. The water is at 10.4 degrees. I will get the pump running. pump is going. It's taken quite some time for that water to get around that tube, but there it is. So we've got water flow, and then what I'll do is put our fire inside there. Just lighting a fire with one hand. So that might be a problem, it actually produces condensation as it heats up. And the copper pipe has a cooling effect. And that causes pops. We have got a temperature increase going on there. Oh. I wonder just how warm the returning water is. Yeah, we'll get that straight on the temperature probe there. Find that out. So the returning temperature is not hot or anything. It's only a very small bit of flame we've got there. Yeah, it's going up. That's about it at the moment, 14.6, 0.7. Yeah, it's still going. Actually, if I slow down the water, actually constrict the flow, it'll actually get much warmer. Let's put a bit more in there. The temperature is going up quite nicely. Let's work it out. At the moment, 0.2, so about 5 seconds, another 5 seconds, 5 seconds, so it's going up about 0.1 of a degree every 5 seconds. Okay, so I just calculated that if we increase by 0.1 of a degree every 5 seconds, if we can maintain that increase, well, if I want to get it to 50 degrees Celsius, 15 minus about 14 is what we started with, so that's 36 degrees divided by 0.1 increments equals 360 times 5 for 5 seconds, and I'll work that out to be about 30 minutes. So if we could keep that increase going, it would take about 30 minutes to heat that up to 50 degrees Celsius. I put my hand in there, it does feel kind of warm. So Bearing in mind that is with a bit of kindling, which is actually now burning more at the top than it is at the bottom. I overloaded it a bit there. Stoke that a bit. So actually with some coals in there or something, it might even get hotter than wood. That's part of this plan, is to actually try some different fuels and see which are the most efficient at heating the water up. So I'll probably try a bit of coal and a heftier bit of wood, and maybe some solid fuel options, a bit of briquette or something like that. Anything else that anyone wants tested, just let me know. It has slowed down a bit now, and those little bubbles of water are getting soaked into the wood and then going pop. It should be nice to keep that moisture away, but I can't think of a way of separating it without reducing the efficiency. Maybe actually putting the lid on would help. Let's try that. So actually popping the lid just loosely on top, it won't go quite on there. Let's actually increase the heating rate here, so let's count that. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just under 5 now, I believe. I'm getting quite a lot of smoke here.